Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Cowboys' busy day includes signing 2 more starting candidates. Whisper is quietly, but the Dallas Cowboys did some serious moving and shaking with their roster, and they did it early, too. In what is a deviation from how the franchise normally conducts its business, the Cowboys have got on the front foot in a way that might have some thinking rather positively that good things are happening. First, there was Osa Odigizua, who signed his 4-year contract extension, locking away a promising defensive tackle. Then the contract extensions of special teams ace C.J. Goodwin for his usual 1-year deal. Brock Hoffman signed his exclusive rights free agent, as did Wanya Thomas, plus CeeDee Lamb's restructure, which now gives the Cowboys an extra $20 million to go shopping with in free agency. That is a lot to get done in one day, and one could say it was very un-Cowboys-like. In truth, this is exactly what Cowboys Nation wanted to see happen. The franchise getting on the front foot and getting deals done. Of course, we can still hear the pessimism about things changing, but if we read the tea leaves right, it does appear that the winds of change have blown through the star. When we factor in that Jerry Jones didn't speak at all during the scouting combine, to now the Cowboys securing the futures of 3 players plus Lamb's restructure, and then Jane Slater's little nugget of information with her source saying not done. Expect more maneuvering and space creation to come shortly. Things are happening in a way we haven't seen in quite a while. That is likely Dak Prescott's restructure, which will give the Cowboys nearly $40 million in cap space, or it could be a Micah Parsons extension. Of course, it goes right along with what our own Mike Fisher has been preaching for close to a year now, that the $100 million blow it up scheme is in full effect. Hoffman and Thomas will each make about $1 million for 2025, but both are significant in the sense that they could end up being starters this year. So that is a lot of moving and shaking happening at the Star, and it appears that this offseason, the Cowboys aren't waiting for the leaves to fall, they're getting their business done before they even hit the ground. Exclusive rights free agent Brock Hoffman has his option picked up to stay with Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have been busy today. Earlier, they announced many transactions, including agreeing with Osa Odigizua to a 4-year contract ahead of unrestricted free agency. Focusing on the trenches, Dallas keeps another one of their interior players in the fold. Interior offensive lineman Brock Hoffman signed his exclusive rights tender to stay with the Cowboys. Hoffman joined the Cowboys in 2022 after being released from the Cleveland Browns practice squad. Hoffman made his first start for the Cowboys in 2023, starting in place of Tyler Baiadas and also in the 2023 season finale at Washington. In his brief time as a starter, Hoffman has exhibited a mean streak on the field to finish plays as a run blocker and has proven to be effective. Entering 2024, it was believed that Hoffman could have competed for the starting job at center, but ultimately yielded the position to rookie Cooper Beebe. However, Hoffman started 7 games at right guard last year, replacing Zach Martin, and played well in Martin's absence. With Martin set to retire, Hoffman looks primed to be the team's starting right guard next season, and the team's renewed commitment to running the football suits Hoffman just fine. The Dallas Cowboys offense under Brian Schottenheimer might look a little different in 2025 due in part to Zach Martin's retirement. There has been talk of Cooper Beebe, who played center last season, shifting to right guard to take Martin's spot, though the team is hinting at passing on that idea. There is also the scrappy Brock Hoffman occupying the vacant position. Or, Dallas might draft another lineman to play inside. But one position that isn't as straightforward is right tackle with Terrence Steele. For some, Steele hasn't lived up to the 5-year, $82 million deal he signed in 2023, and with a potential out in his deal in 2026, maybe the time has come to think about his successor? Does that come in this draft class? For CBS Sports, Ryan Wilson does with Missouri stud Armand Membo coming to Dallas in his latest mock draft. Armand Membo is just 6'3", and I do not care, Wilson writes. Membu was one of the most reliable right tackles in college football in 2024, and while he doesn't have ideal size, based on his tape alone, he's a guy who you put at right tackle until he proves he can't handle it at the next level. Worst case, you have a perennial Pro Bowl guard for the next decade. Perennial Pro Bowler might be a bit much. But this is another mock that doesn't have the Cowboys taking a running back in the first round, and in truth, Dallas needs its draft picks to hit in year one, and Membu, while a good prospect who has outstanding potential per NFL.com's Lance Zierlein, if he is taken, we aren't sure he would usurp Steele in 2025. Could Dallas cut Steele outright? He's scheduled to count $18 million against the 2025 cap. That's pricey. If Steele is cut now, before free agency begins on March 12, Dallas is still stuck with $14 million in dead money while only getting back $5.1 million in cap space. If the Cowboys make him a June 1st cut, it's $14.5 million in cap space come June, but then $6.4 million in dead cap deferred to 2026. A move is clearly an option, though it might leave Dallas a body short, even with the drafting of a blue-chip lineman. Could the rookie be better than Steele right away? He might, with Schottenheimer and his staff making it known that the best five will play and it won't matter the position, so if Membu does hit the ground running in Oxnard, then who knows? Cowboys signing Stefon Diggs, a brotherly match made in heaven. After an injury-riddled contract year with the Houston Texans, star wideout Stefon Diggs is a free agent. Despite his ACL tear being the brunt of last season's disappointment, the Pro Bowl receiver may be interested in moving on anyway. In 2024, Diggs joined C.J. Stroud and the Texans via trade from Buffalo, but the pairing fell short of meeting expectations. The veteran receiver totaled career lows in targets, receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Granted, he only played in 8 games prior to his knee injury. But the move does not resonate as a big hit. With his one-year deal up in Houston, the 31-year-old now has a decision to make. Can he return to stardom as a member of the Texans? Or is another change of scenery the ticket to turning his career around? For the Dallas Cowboys, a player like Diggs could be a coveted piece to not fit only the team's needs, but to fortify the culture new head coach Brian Schottenheimer aims to build. They may also have the ace up their sleeve to lure Stefon, his younger brother Trayvon. Standout cornerback Trayvon, entering his 6th season with the Cowboys, is also recovering from an ACL surgery that forced him to miss the entire season, but is set to have a massive impact once he returns. Stefon and Trayvon Diggs reuniting as members of the Cowboys almost makes too much sense, right? Both parties, Stefon Diggs and Dallas, are in win-it windows. The Cowboys desperately need a receiver opposite of CeeDee Lamb. Diggs needs a place where he doesn't have to be a number 1 option in order to bring himself back from injury. The relationship-driven culture of the locker room under Schotty would also be a perfect fit for the Diggs reunion. Though we certainly recognize that Stefon has a reputation for bringing some dramatic baggage to wherever he goes. The only downside, outside of that? Money, of course. Per Spotrac, the elder Diggs would cost a projected $13 million to go along with other red flags related to his age and injury recovery issue and that drama. While the price may be high, is Dallas in a desperate enough situation to take the risk? Some signs point to Stefon Diggs and the Dallas Cowboys being a brotherly match made in heaven. Only if both sides want to make that happen, of course. And you, fan? What do you think about the situation of Stefon Diggs? Write to us in the comments.